All right, in this one, we're going to finish up with the Tetris game and actually play the game. Then we're going to make the video and the final video of this one. But anyways, with this, we're going to go to New. We're going to go down here to Presentation, so IPN at the bottom, and double click on it, or click once and hit Create. And you're going to go find your Tetris assembly, so the whole entire thing with the game board and all the pieces included. And you're going to go ahead and hit Open. From here, we just want to look at it from the front. That'll be the easiest way to move all of the pieces that we have currently in here. Again, this is set up so that basically all the pieces will move down in some sort of order or fashion for that one. From here, what I'm going to do is I have to take all of these pieces and we have to move them above the game board, and then we're going to bring them down one at a time as we go through this one. So, camera, we're going to set up first. I'm going to basically zoom in, and I want to cut off the top of this one, just barely. And so when I set this one up, I'm just going to slide the top up and leave maybe a little bit of room at the bottom, but I'm basically trying to hide the pieces up there. And we're going to hit Capture Camera. And what that's going to do is all the pieces are going to go up here. They're going to be hidden up above, but once you hit Capture Camera, now we can kind of zoom out and we can see everything up there. To grab all the pieces, come over to the left-hand side, hit Scene and hit plus. Hit plus on the Tetris assembly right here, and here's the list of all the individual pieces that you had. You're going to want to select everything besides the game board. The game board for me is down at the bottom, but I'm going to grab this one, and I can hold Control and grab all of them that way. Or if you have them in a list and the game board's not mixed in, you hit the top one, hold Shift, and click on the bottom one. Now that I have all of them selected, again, I don't want the game board selected, I'm going to tweak components. I'm just going to take those ones, and we actually have to move them at a certain distance. Sorry, kind of spaced off there for a second. Before you move them though, so I'm going to X out of that one. I'm going to redo this one really quick. So tweak components, grab the top, select or shift and grab the bottom one. I'm going to make sure that no trail is selected. We don't want lines going through here, so no trail is selected. For this, the duration does not matter because we're going to cut this part out anyways, so right now it doesn't really matter. I'm going to slowly move that up whenever I get this one selected. So I'm grabbing the arrow going up, and we're just going to move it up above the board, and we're going to say right here I want this exactly, so we're going to do 21. If it needs to go negative, it needs to go negative 21.5. Helps if I don't type 200. And we're going to hit check mark on that one. Now it looks like I have something that's not quite right. I'll have to look at that one here later on. Something's just slightly askew. Same kind of thing here. I'll have to go back in and figure out what I messed up on somewhere on those yellow pieces, but we'll kind of ignore that one for right now in this video. Anyways, to start this one off, now we're going to start, and this is actually the beginning part of the game, so we're actually going to cut off the first 2.5 seconds, and then we're going to play the game. And so to make this, we're going to take one of these pieces, and I'm going to grab the blue ones, and I'm just going to move those all the way down here at the bottom. And so we're going to grab tweak component. I'm going to grab these 4 bottom pieces, and I might just hold Control, click all 4 of those because that's that set of that one. You could also figure out where it is over here, which is this light blue one. I could just select it from there if I want all of the pieces to move at the same time. And this is the piece, and we're just going to drop it straight down. We're not going to make it rotate or anything like that. We could make it fancy, but we're not going to. And so that's going to go all the way down here to the bottom, which would be negative 21.5 for me. And I just want to make sure that that aligns here at the bottom. When that gets down there, I'm going to leave it at 2.5 seconds. It's easier just to kind of leave them at those. It really doesn't matter too much. And again, the zoom out and in on this does not matter because we've already set our camera angle. So if I hit check mark on that, that piece goes down. If I hit play on this, it'll zoom me back into my original camera. It goes up, and that piece is going to come down for this first piece of the game. And we zoom in, we zoom out, and we choose our next piece that we want to move. So maybe the next piece I want to fall is this orange one right here. So I can go over here and I could choose that orange one off the side, or I could just individually choose those. But if you have a bunch of colors together, it's better to choose them from off to the side here. So I'm choosing those, hit tweak component. going to pull this one down so I can get roughly the distance that I need, and then I'll zoom in. So right now I have negative 21.35. It's still going to be negative 21.5 going down. 21.5, there we go. And then I just hit check mark. Some of this, the number will not always be negative 21. We'll get to that here in a little bit. The next one I'm going to move down is this green one. So again, coming over here, green assembly, whatever it is, this is what I'm going to move down. Tweak component. I'm going to pull that one down. Apparently that one, the arrow points down, so this won't be a negative, it'll be a positive. So we're going to do positive 21.5. And I'm going to hit enter. Now I don't have any full bars yet. When we get to the end, I'm going to show you how to do that. Again, this piece is going to cause me a little bit of problems, but we'll get to there when we get to there. This purple piece cannot come down yet because it would go through the blue one, or the blue one would sit on top of it. So we can't move that one. The blue one has to come next. So I'm going to look at dark blue, tweak component, bring that one down. That one's going to be negative 21.5. I would always check before you click on enter or anything that it goes into the right spot, and then hit enter afterwards. Tweak component. I'm going to grab the purple ones and then the yellow ones. So purple, make sure it highlights the right thing. I'm going to bring this one down. I'm going to type in 21.5. Since it's going the arrow down, it's going to be positive, and that brings it down to the right spot. Again, double check. Check mark. And the final one that I'm going to show you before we change a few things on here is this yellow one going into place. So tweak components. I'm going to find that yellow block over on the side, which is that one. You can see it highlight. Bring that one down. And for whatever reason, this should be negative 21.5. Negative 21.55 roughly works. I'm actually going to do that right there. I don't know why that's being funky. Somehow I constrained these two wrong. I'm going to have to go back and fix that one. I am going to just put negative 21.5 right now, and I'll fix that after this is all said and done. But anyways, from there, check mark. And these two rows are completed. So once a row gets completed in Tetris, it disappears, and then these blocks that are not complete move down. And so to get rid of these, if you had one row, you could grab one. If you have multiple rows like this one, we're going to hold Control and select all of those pieces. So again, you could do one row at a time, or since we have two in this case, or if you have one, it's entirely up to your own Lego or your own Tetris block. But I'm going to select all of them. I'm going to go up here to where it says opacity, and it's going to ask me, do I want to break the association? We're going to say yes, we want to break it so it doesn't involve the assembly or the other parts that it's locked into. So we're going to hit break, and we take the opacity from what it is now to 0, and we hit check mark. Now if we look at that, I'm going to bring that one up here, you can see all of those different pieces of opacity going down this one. There's a way to change those times or how long that one's going to take, but right now what we'll do is we'll just hit play. We'll just real quickly watch through the 17.5 seconds that we have. So that piece comes down, this piece comes down. I'm going to quit saying that one, but you can follow them all going along. This one comes into place. Once it hits, that row disappears. Now once that row disappears, we need to move these four down to the bottom. So we go here, we hit tweak component, we grab those four, and you'll have to hold Control while doing this one, and we bring those ones down. So we're going to bring those ones down. I get it close. It should be somewhat either a solid number or a half a number. So in this case it is 2. Again, you can zoom in just to make sure it's hitting on the bottom, and we hit check mark. And then we can continue moving the rest of these pieces down. So this one right here, a tweak component, I want these yellow ones. I'm going to go find that cube. There it is. Bring this one down. Now this is no longer going to be 21.5. And the reason being is because it's supposed to be higher, but we're bringing it farther down now. So this one is going to be negative 23.5 maybe. Yours may vary. Again, this is the block that I screwed up, so again, check on that one before you do that, but then it's just check mark. From there, you just keep bringing your pieces down and turning the opacity off for all of them. I'm not going to bore you with continually doing that. If you get confused, go back, rewatch that little first part of the video on how to turn the opacity off. And that is all that I have. The next video will be making it into an actual video that we can watch from start to finish using our computer programs. But that's all that I have for you. Good luck.